there. Welcome, everyone. Today, if I can get an advance here. Oh, let's go back. At the Healing Arts Fair, I did a reading for Reverend Marion about a number of personal topics. And then at the end, the Reverend asked me if I had done a reading for myself or others about the state of our country. And the chaos we're all experiencing, and not only us, a lot of the world is the way things are being taken care of. I don't know where it's going, but I am a tarot reader, so I said, I don't know why I haven't done that. And I thought about it, and about a week later, I actually did a reading. So I thought I would share that today. So let's move on to the first screen. Oh, you know what? I'm going to have to move this. Yeah, there we go. Well, I've already said this. The United States seems to be in an especially unstable state. Where are we going? That's what I want to know. So I did a reading about it. And I did a 10-card reading, a Celtic cross reading. That's in the shape of a cross with 2 center cards and then a column of 4 cards off to the right. So I actually chose the first card. That's the situation. And I thought this card was the best representation of what the heck's going on. Things seem to be just exploding for no apparent reason. And then they change a week later. And then we're on to something new that seems to be chaotic and is stressing everyone out. The markets are in disarray. Anyway, on and on. And that's what I chose. And now the next card, which you take and place it crossways over the situation, is what crosses you. And I thought this was hilarious. This is the Knight of Swords. This is the knight that looks a little crazy. He moves quickly. He doesn't really know where he's going. In fact, the way you read cards is things to the left are in the past, things to the right are going towards the future. Well, this knight is just crazed and charging into the past. Well, that's not typical. He's also the most aggressive knight there is, and he used to always pop up when I was reading for my wife's ex-boss, who is actually, you'd all know him because he's in the paper all the time. I'm not going to say his name, but he was a very arrogant, wealthy, it's got to be my way individual who is still very charismatic. If you met him a short time, you'd say, what a guy. I want him to be the brother I never had. If you met him a little bit longer, you'd say, there's something wrong here. Anyway, so that's funny. It came out. Well, what crosses you? What's going on? Well, what interacts with this card of chaos? Well, it's a chaotic night, and I'm guessing you all can guess where that is coming from and who that might be. My guess is it's our president. The next 2 cards are, and this people read this different ways. I read it exactly the way Arthur Waite said you should read it. And he said you put the next card at the top. This is above you, or this crowns you. This is a card, actually it's from a scene the Pamela Coleman Smith, who lived with an actress, knew of. And it's a card yearning for a past, something in the past that was elegant and just desirable. So you're remembering, we're all remembering something, a more stable situation. The market's going up. We're all relatively happy. Our economy's booming. We got someone elected that a lot of people, most of the country seem, has a lot of influence for the good. Our economy will be stable. And this is below you. It's kind of like, well, what's your structure? What's holding this whole thing up? Obviously, this man, just from the scene, is on the top of a hill, and he is defending himself from a bunch of things. So it's not a very stable situation. And I want to point this out. This is the number 7 right here. This is below you. All odd-numbered cards are inherently unstable, and they typically represent a male influence. And I hate to say it, but males are the ones that go out and start wars typically. They're the ones that engage in, headbutting. So maybe we didn't read that what is above us quite right, because there's a lot of conflict in the air. So this is above you, this is below you, and I'll show you the entire thing at the end, but I'm just going to go through pairs of cards. The next cards would be to the left and right. And remember, to the left would be the past. This is behind you, and it's the sun. Probably I'm going to say the most positive card in the deck. I mean, in Greek mythology, the sun and Apollo was just revered. Everything was good about him. It wasn't, but that was a typical overview. So this is the past again. We're sort of going, things seem to be more stable in the recent past. So what's up? This is before you. Well, we call this two people, a man and a woman, mendicants. Well, no one knows what that means nowadays. This was back in 1880, 1890 through 1910. Those were homeless people, beggars, people who had lost everything, people who never had anything. And here they are. This is before you. This is like a lot of people are feeling that we're heavily invested in the stock market, I hate to say. And that's a church window. And again, it's a 5, so some instability, a lot of it for certain people. But I think we're all kind of feeling this way. Like, I just had something that was terribly precious and stable. Now, not so much. So what's up? So that's near-term future, by the way. It's not a long way away. That's how we're feeling today, I think. What? That doesn't belong there. How did that get there? Okay. Yeah, that's above and below. Okay. Okay, now we're going to build that column of 4 cards on the right side. Oh, Roxy's here. Wow. And the first one, typically at the bottom of the column, is either how you see yourself or how you present to the world, you personally. So I was thinking this would be a much more card showing injury, but it's not. This is a card based on the Henry VIII play from Shakespeare. When the king goes around, at the end of the day, they're going to face a battle with the French army, and they are heavily, heavily outnumbered. I forget which river they're on, but it's in France, and they're likely going to lose because they're so heavily outnumbered. So the king goes around to the camp disguised as, nobody, just not a king for sure, maybe a private, maybe someone involved in feeding the troops, but just someone of low rank, goes around and interrogates everyone about what they're thinking of the outcome tomorrow, how they're feeling, what might, I don't know, what might instill valor in them so that they can overcome these insurmountable odds. So that card, not quite sure what that means. So this is how you are or how you see yourself. Maybe it's the US population going, we got to think of a way out of this because we're feeling so powerless, engaged, got someone in charge that we had no idea that he'd be acting in this way. Not even the people that were wild about Trump thought he would go off the rails like he has. It's supposed to be a Republican. That's the party of small government, stability. Well, it's not the party of let's blow everything up. That's more like Elon Musk, move quickly and break things. That's their motto in Silicon Valley. So it's just, kind of pulling each other, trying to figure things out. Where are we going to get the stability back? Don't know. By the way, that battle ended with the English defeating the French because the king took that back and devised the the way he was going to confront the French and what the troops needed to hear. And he gave a rousing speech, and they went on to defeat the French. And I'm sorry, I forgot the name of the battle, but that is what that scene is from. There's also a side story that instead of the king, it was someone disguised who went into the French camp disguised as the person that sharpened swords, right? And he pretended he had a hunchback, and he went around asking them if they wanted him to take their swords and sharpen them for the next day. This is the French army, snuck into the French army encampment across the river, takes all the swords, never comes back. So they were minus a number of weapons. Okay, that's how you see yourself. The next card above that card on the tree on the side with 4 cards is how your house sees you, or it is your house, how your group, your country, your family, your school, things like that. This is how others see you. That's the Queen of Cups in the world of emotion. Looking at that large cup, thinking, I've got to learn something here. And I think this is all of us just going, there's got to be a lesson here in this chaos that has meaning. So we all know what we want. We don't want to be at war with anybody, right? We want to love one another. We want to be engaged. We want opportunity, all these good things. It just feels very threatened at the moment. We've got the rug pulled out from underneath us. Well, that's how it is today. The next set and the last 2 cards would be the world, would be your hopes or fears. It's not, it can be one or the other. Well, that's the last card in the major arcana. Let me make sure Terry's got the front door. Hold on, sorry. Hold that thought. Okay. She's got it. Okay. So this would be wonderful as an outcome card. I would love to see that as the next card rather than where it stands. But these are our hopes, our fears. And I would say that keep that in mind. Keep that hope in mind, because that's what's going to tame everything and bring us to a good place. It's what's promised even by Trump, but who knows? But I think markets, attorneys, blocks of people are saying, hey, we all just kind of want to get along over here. We don't much like the current environment. You've got a little more space in order to do what you think you're able to do. But then there's a very large number of people who are going to say, okay, that's enough. Let's be friends with Canada. Let's not invade Greenland. Let's not crash the markets. Let's not start any new wars. Those are things that are undesirable. And I think, well, it doesn't matter what I think. I'm just reading cards today. Those are our hopes. I don't think that's our fears, because it's a very good thing. That's a good place to end up. But the outcome is the 8 of Wands, or batons. Now, typically, this card means swiftness, something occurring very rapidly. So I would say whatever you think is going to happen will happen, and it will be sooner than later. Ooh. Yeah. And this is not bad. This 8 is a very balanced card. Think in terms of the 4 legs on a table. Well, you've got 8 legs. I'm sorry, that's 10. Pretend it was 4. You got 8 legs. That's dual stability. It also means, though, this specific card typically means something will happen very quickly. Things are in alignment. Things are okay again. They're not chaotic. They're very organized. So what does this all mean? So I can't find my mouse. So hold on. There's the entire spread laid out all together. So you've got card 1, and typically you would put this card on top of this card sideways. Hold on, please. But I couldn't do that because I wanted you to see the main card was the situation, and that's how we're feeling. Then again, this is above you or crowns you. This is below you. This is behind you. Even if it's imagined, where we were not in a perfect situation, but it sure felt good, better than today. This is before you, the feeling of loss. Whereas, remember though, these pinnacles or coins are still there. They're just within or behind the church window. Maybe we need to look in that space for some hope. And this is you just wondering what the heck to do about this situation. Do I need to be stealthy? Do I just need to talk to people? Do I need to worry? This is our entire environment, just very shell shocked. That's what she looks like to me. I don't know where to look for a solution, but I'm going to look within because she's the Queen of Cups. That's what the Queen of Cups would do. She deals in emotion, heartfelt things. And then hopes and fears. This is a very powerful inductive card. It includes everything in the world. These are four elements. They're the evangelicals. They are air. Well, they're the elements too. This is a mandorla. That's typically an almond shape that the Catholic Church would show their saints within. And this is the outcome. Does that mean this is like absolutely going to happen? No, it just means this is where we're headed. This is sort of a short-term thing. You know, this is before you in the future, but it's a short-term future. This is a longer-term future. Well, it won't probably be that long because this card is about things moving very quickly, not slowly. Oh, that's your kitty, Darlene? I like her. She wanted to know about the outcome, don't we all? So I would say, okay, as a wrap up, that you read this so I can read it because I don't have notes today. Chaos and fear surround us. We yearn for stability. That was that card from the past, the sun, and a safer past. That was two cards dealing with, wasn't the past wonderful and not that long ago? What do we want? We want stability and safety. We don't want to lose our money. It will get worse before it gets better. Sorry, that was that card to the right. This is before you, near-term future. It's going to be bleak for a while. It is now, but it will continue for a bit. But the outcome is not set or clear, but matters will move very quickly. It really doesn't say this will be very positive, although, like I said, the number 8 is a very stable situation. And also, wands are in the world of, at the very top of the tree of life, the world of spirit and will. So we're going to get some help. So do say your prayers, and things, whatever they are, will at least occur quickly, and they will be much more organized at some near-term point, I think, than they are today. That's my read.